Hello and welcome to the Select Board meeting for April 11th, 2023. The entire board is present minus Linda, Town Manager, Town Clerk, and Town Assessor as well. Let us stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First, we have the approval of our meeting minutes from March 28th, 2023.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second it.
Any further questions, comments? All those in favor? Minutes are approved. Mark, I don't think you were at that meeting, were you?
Last week?
He was,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was here.
Okay. Just double checking. First public comment.
Everybody's
So,
here for business.
Yes, everybody's here for the public hearing, not the public comment. Seeing no takers, we will close the first public comment and move right into our public hearing for the approval of medical marijuana cultivation business licenses at 398 School Street. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
All right, so you are here to represent multiple businesses?
Yeah, 3.
Okay. Let's start with you and get your businesses out of the way first, so please step up to the podium here.
Sure.
Which businesses are you here to represent?
My name is Cindy Knight, and I'm here representing Northeast Gold, Nicholas DeLaurie, New England Kohlers, Nicholas Ballin, and Joshua Emard, who is the sole proprietor.
All right, terrific. So we're going to take these all one at a time and just go through them.
Sure.
So going from our list, Northeast Gold.
Mm-hmm.
James, do we have any information on this business that needs addressing?
There's no specific information on the specific tenants. We've had intermittent odor complaints. We have no active violations. Seems like there's times where you drive by School Street and you can smell it. Most times you do not. I've asked each licensee to come prepared to discuss their odor filtration. Cynthia has provided a picture of the carbon filtration. Do you want to add any details on the units that have, so each individual unit has carbon filtration, and is there a maintenance schedule that the carbon filters get replaced?
Yes. Yep.
What is that maintenance schedule like? Every 3 months, 6 months?
It's 3 months.
Okay.
So is it something, if there's odor that pops up, it's a carbon filter that died? Or?
I guess I'll ask, like, how many odor complaints do you get from 398 School Street?
We did not get any. It's been a while since we've received an odor complaint. We received just a call from one of the neighbors when we sent out notices.
When was that?
This was recently.
Like,
I know when I drove by about 2 weeks ago, there was a strong odor, but it was only for an hour or so because I came back through later on and there wasn't an odor there.
So what I can tell you from my experience there is that there are generally 5 rooms. There's 2 flower rooms, a veg room, a drying room, and a lobby. And all those doors are closed all the time for many reasons. Plants are very sensitive or whatever, so light leaks can cause the plants to seed and, make your crop be worth less. There's a bunch of things. As far as the odor, as far as I'm concerned, where I could see it coming from is when someone's harvesting and they're actually like removing like the pots and what have you out of the unit, and then you might get a whiff. But the other thing I would have to say is that you guys approved the location as a marijuana facility, and if you live next to a farm, you're probably going to get a whiff of manure occasionally, you know what I mean? On another day, you can get a whiff of someone's dumpster. I don't think that the smell is a problem at 398 School Street. I think everybody there does a really good job at maintaining their units and being respectful of other tenants as well as neighbors.
Yeah, I like I said, on occasion I drive by and I'll smell it, briefly, and I assumed that was the case, is that somebody's transferring material or something, and that was what was happening.
In the summer,
it's
it
not.
could
It's
also-
not like it's not like it was in the past.
Yeah.
No, in past years, no, it was days of the smell, and we don't get that anymore.
In
the
the
abutters
summer-
came in. Remember, they came in about the smell, and they came in about the lighting in the parking lot.
Right.
I'm
And
assuming
since,
the parking lot lighting got straightened out,
yeah,
I'm not aware of any problem with the lighting.
flashing
that
on the
was-
houses, the
that
people
was
that
three
abutters, right?
3 years ago. 4
Nah,
years
it's
ago?
been a while.
been a
I
while.
would at this point. I Irish. No, not even Irish. There was
No,
Jen.
Jen at the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jen,
I think
Jen
that's
handled
something
that.
that's more for the landlord than it is for the individual caregivers.
Yeah, that was-
And I just would like to mention one more thing on the smell is everybody in the state of Maine is allowed to grow 6 plants of their own in their backyard so long as it's concealed. So the smell could very well be coming from your neighbor growing 6 plants.
Oh, yeah, we can drive through the neighborhood and tell who's growing.
So that's just something
How
else I
long
wanted
does
to
one
know.
plant last? You just grow it till you harvest the buds off it, and then you throw it out, or what?
Okay, I'm not a caregiver. I don't grow it. I just help with all the compliance work and accounting. But it would be good for you to get all that information to know it because you could make better decisions on the marijuana policies in Berwick.
Do you? Is that what happens to the buds? You take the buds off a plant, right? That's what
Yeah,
you.
and then it's dead.
And then the plant's done.
You
So
cut the
won't we
plant.
bud again?
Takes about
No.
takes about 3 to 4 months per process.
Start
Yeah,
over.
we can't have the conversation in the back,
I
Mark.
know.
They don't pick it up on the microphones. They just hear mumbling. So
No, not
No.
your fault. Not your fault.
no problem.
All right. Does anybody have any questions specifically for about Northeast Gold?
This is a renewal, right?
This is
They're
yes.
all
This is a renewal. These are all renewal. These are not new applications.
Correct.
All right. So going down the list, no. So I'll make a motion to approve the renewal for Northeast Gold for Nicholas Delory.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
I'll make a motion to approve the relicensing of the Unit 2F for Joshua Emad?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
I'll make a motion to renew the license for New England Colas?
Colas. Yeah.
Is Unit 3H, Nicholas Balin.
A second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Okay, so you are all set.
Okay, can I add a couple things actually
About what specifically?
about the policies of marijuana? Like the licensing fees?
Not at this time.
Okay.
This is specifically about getting
Just
these
the
reapproved.
Okay.
You are welcome to stay and talk at second public comment and add anything you want to on the
No,
record.
that's I'm good.
Okay.
Am I all
You
second?
can also write a letter too.
Yeah.
What's that?
You can write a letter that we
Well,
can.
I mean, no, hey, I'm just trying to, like you know, James, I've been trying to help you all along. And so, yeah, if I'm all set, I'm all set.
You all set?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So that is the bulk of that. Going back to the top of the list, do we have a representative for AM/PM Dynamics LLC?
Hello.
Hello. Please state your name for the record.
Peter Carnicelli?
All right. Terrific. James, do we have any information or complaints, issues with AM/PM?
I would just ask the same, just no complaints or anything for the specific business, but just what do you have for going on for carbon filtration? What's
I
your
brought some big blown up pictures.
wonderful?
These are both my flowers right now. And then in Unit A, we're going to be doing manufacturing, so I don't believe it's required for that, but if it's necessary, I'll get one. Not a problem.
That'd be for the
Yes,
Okay.
that'll
code
be-
enforcement
Yes.
area.
Check with our code enforcement officer and make sure. At this time, there's no violations. There's no
Complaints?
issues. No.
No.
Okay. Then I will make a motion to approve AM/PM Dynamics LLC units A and N. Peter
I'll second
Carcelli.
it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? You are good, sir.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Can I stick around possibly? or-
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Stay the whole time. Yes. Next, mainly organics.
Hello, I'm Michael Severance.
Hello, Michael. James, any issues?
Nothing specifically for the business, but again, what do you? Carbon
Yeah,
filtration.
I brought pictures on my phone. If I can show you those, or I
Certainly.
can email them to you too.
Yeah, I think that's
Is it
fine.
the similar carbon filtration as the other
Carbon
units?
filters, and we use hydroxyls as well.
What,
It's like
what's-
small amounts of ozone. Helps prevent smell and keeps the room sterile.
So you said you're strictly organic. Is how common is that in the business?
It's not too common right now. It's a lot more expensive and labor intensive. So most
Just like-
people are running salts. I mean, there are organic nutrient lines as well, but not many people are running soil.
Right.
They pump it full of nitrogen. Anyway, any questions for Michael?
I'll make a motion to approve the renewal of the license for Mainly Organics, Michael Severance, units 1C, 2D, and it looks like 3I.
Second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Oh,
Next, we have Future Generation Farms.
thank you.
And you are, for the record,
Sheldon Terrio.
terrific. Now, just a general question. Are these mostly single owner operator situations where it's like one person doing all the work?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I mean, like, I just don't know how many employees are running around over there. I just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay. James, anything specific?
Nothing for this business. Nope.
And your air filtration? Yep. So
You'd have to
sorry.
take a photo. I can email it to you if you need.
Very
it.
similar to the other situations there, yeah. And obviously regular maintenance, changing filters, everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions for Sheldon?
How often do you change them out?
About every 6 months.
6 months. Yeah.
I mean, they last a lot longer. Carbon filters will last 2 years, but we try to do every 6 months.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to renew the license for Future Generation Farms, Unit 1B, Sheldon Terrio.
Yeah, Terrio.
Terrio.
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Next, we have our friend on Zoom, Friendly Fire LLC.
Hi, how are you?
Just fine. And you are, for the record?
I'm Brendan Riley.
Terrific. James, anything specific?
Nothing for this business. Nope.
And your air filtration, is it similar to what we've seen?
Yeah, 1500 CFM can filter. I'll send pictures over to James as well, just to give him confirmation.
Terrific. Any questions for Brandon? Brendan.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That's my life.
Yeah, no,
I just want to state real quick too. Sheldon was saying that he only has one employee. I have 6.
6.
So
Yeah.
so we typically have a few cars at our unit. We run a delivery service as well. So just to fill you in a little bit about us.
Terrific. I appreciate that very much.
I'll make a motion to renew the license for Friendly Fire LLC, Brendan Riley at Unit J.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brendan.
And last one, we have OMG LLC. Do we have a representative for OMG LLC?
James Riley.
Yeah, is that your brother or?
That's my father.
Oh, really?
I can speak on his behalf if you'd like. He has the same carbon filter setup as I do. One in each room, same big ones. as far as I know, he doesn't have any complaints or anything against him.
James is agreeing over there.
Yep.
Yep. And does he have any employees?
I believe he has one, a good friend of mine.
Terrific. Any other questions about OMG LLC?
I'll make a motion to renew the license for OMG LLC Unit 4L James Riley.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? All right. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate
Thanks,
you
Brendan.
coming by.
Yeah, thank you guys again. I appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
I just want to say, you know, that as in the years past, we have had a lot of trouble with this address. Is about 4 or 5 years ago, we had quite a go around, but since then it's changed quite a bit. And as I said, it's occasionally I'll smell something there, but it's not like it used to be.
Yes, that going back to when I was on the planning board, we had to go over there, do a site walk, and yeah, mostly it was about lights and smells, but we've been diligent about it, and luckily they've been paying attention. So, all right. So, unless anybody has any other things to say, I will close the public hearing.
Can you make comment on it?
Yes, absolutely.
Since I'm here now,
Of course.
I live next to two of them. I have two on my road, Blackmore Road. Got 2 units up down there.
Please state your name and address for the record, please.
John Willie, 2 Blackmore Road, South Berwick, Berwick, Maine. It's right there in my taxes. Let's talk about these filter systems. You people need to really get into the filter systems because those filter systems don't work that well. I live with it day in, day out. It's only when they're getting ready to harvest. That's when you smell it. I live probably 300 yards. And when they're harvesting, there's like a skunk sitting right in my mudroom.
Do they have filters on it, John?
Yes. The guy went out and bought the state-of-the-art and what have you, filters, both units. It was mandated by Dennis
That's over by
Robillard.
Robillard, right?
That was Robillard
property
mandated
there?
them to have that, yes.
Yep.
But, no, I mean, it's not going to take all of it away, but anyone coming in saying these carbon filters are going to change them once every 2 years or what have you, this guy does it every month, month and a half, and it still rhymes. I mean, not that it's a health hazard or anything else, it's more of a nuisance than anything
Yeah.
else, but there's not that many people down there to complain
Yeah.
on either side. But for someone to sit and say that, you know, this filter does this and that, I'm throwing bullshit flags at
So,
you there.
as you say, it's mostly just when they're harvesting. How often is that?
From
would
my
you say?
understanding, it's every 5 weeks. They down there go through 3 systems. They plant and
So
they
they have-
do whatever, and then it buds and they do the clippings and all that. At
Yeah,
the
so
end.
they have a continuous.
So it's
staggered,
only, yeah,
so-
it's not every day that it smells. It's only when they're doing the harvest and they're cutting those off, what have you. They're taking them outside, dead plant pots. You ain't smelling that. You're smelling the juice from the marijuana itself. That's what you smell.
We'll check into
But
it.
it might be something good to
Do they use the plant too?
No.
What happens to the plant?
just.
Gets
Well,
recycled.
most of it.
Just mulch.
They don't grind it up and sell it?
I use it all over my lawn. I get out and take a bucket full there and I spread it out there. I think you'd hook into that shit, but.
I'm not smoking.
Yeah.
You remind me of the 70s.
Sure, yeah. I'm sure you're going to be able to smoke the stem, yeah. Okay. I will close the public hearing for this
Thanks, Jeff.
topic. We have no reports of committees. We have no department reports. We're back to the appointment of Sherry Clement for the Recreation Commission to an alternate one-year term. She was here last meeting. Very enthusiastic. She owns Primal Fitness. We just had a question about, she owns the business in Berwick, but she technically lives in North Berwick. We wanted to get clarity and make sure that was okay for her to join the Recreation Committee, the Recreation Commission. The Director of Recreation is on board. There's no rules against it, so we are all set to move ahead with that. So I will hear a motion.
Go ahead, Tom.
I'll make a motion to appoint Sherry Clement to a 1-year alternate term to the Recreation Commission.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? All right, she is aboard. We have no unfinished business at this time. Town managers report.
Just wanted to check in before I started giving the go-ahead to start doing this. Is for traffic calming, we always get a few inquiries about traffic calming. We put in speed bumps in Dobson that were very abrupt. That's speed bumps, speed humps, not great, but I think speed tables. So the difference between like a speed hump is that it goes over maybe a 5 to 10 foot distance. Speed table is 22 feet long. Had a request for Sweetser and Dobson, and I just wanted to get the flavor for what the board thought about speed tables as a traffic calming measure.
The town will do that. The town will put, Blackberry Hill Road's the same way. It's awful. You put some speed bumps out there, you say, we had enough complaints?
You can design speed bumps or speed tables to reach a certain. You can design a speed table that you can go. I don't know, what's the speed limit out there for Blackberry Hill Road? 35?
Yeah.
35 and 40, depends on where you are.
But
So you can-
55 to 60.
You can design a speed table for 35. It just extends it out.
But the town would pay for it?
In the name of safety, I think it's the same as putting in a crosswalk or sidewalk, that type of thing.
Huh. Okay, good.
One of the I think something to look into, but it'd be more of a program that we'd look into, is some sort of neighborhood improvement program. If the neighborhood wanted to maybe pay a percentage and the town wanted to match, there are towns that have those types of programs.
You're just talking specifically around the recreation field right now, or are you just talking in general?
There's a stretch going out Sweetser to Rochester Street.
Yep.
That was one of the requests from the neighborhood there.
Aren't there two
When you
already
say-
on that, or is that the street? Or are you talking the street over from Jordan? 'Cause isn't Jordan have
There's
two on it?
a few coming on to Sweetser. I don't know what that. I think it's
Well, there's
Jordan Lane has.
Bell comes across there. Annie comes off of Rochester Street and joins in there.
When you say the neighborhoods are requesting this, in what capacity? Like
I received a petition.
a petition.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is multiple people in the area.
Mhm.
Okay, if that is the case, then I think we should have maybe some sort of public hearing about it
Mhm.
to at least discuss it, see if there's any strong opposition to that idea in the neighborhood. I mean, a petition just tells you who's for it, doesn't tell you who's against it. So, if it's a unanimous situation where they're just like, we want this here to protect the neighborhood, and then I certainly wouldn't have any objection to doing that.
Hey, we need input from Jody too.
Yeah.
In public works.
Because they're gonna have to plow through those things, literally.
And as far as your first question is I'd much rather have the speed tables than speed bumps or humps or whatever.
I would agree.
Is they're definitely less jarring, but they do the purpose. And the tables are less likely to get plowed up by the.
I was going to say there's
plows.
more of that grade, so yes,
Yeah.
the plow.
Because we have all those temporary ones that we put in neighborhoods off and on. So,
Those ones are aggressive.
yeah. But
You'll have to wait for public comment.
I'll wait.
It'll be
No
at
one
the,
else is here.
it'll be a little bit.
Oh, on this item here, they don't do per item, you group it at the end?
Well, no, it's not a hearing. It's just a discussion from the manager's report. But you can add comment at the end.
Well, spend the money. Yeah.
Anything else? Thank you.
Just want to say major thanks to Andy Buckman, Legion, Lisa Eustace, Drew McCormick, and Shannon for work that they did to the backstage area. It's a whole new space back there.
yeah, there is space back there.
Yeah,
I'll put it that way.
We got storage space.
I
Did
was
they get rid
surprised.
of the Audrey too?
What's that?
Did they get rid of Audrey too?
What's that?
The plant from
Venus
Little Shop of
flytrap.
Horrors.
Oh, yeah.
It's been there for like 8 years at this point.
I didn't know it was up there. I knew we were
Yeah.
talking about it as soon as you said it.
Yeah, I was quite surprised Friday morning. I came around the corner out here when the big back door was open and stuff was flying out the back. I saw Andy Buckman and Lynn Rendell out there, so.
Yeah, and he took the lead on the project and did a great job. There's a Route 4 safety study meeting that's scheduled for next week, on the 19th at 2 p.m. So that's moving right along.
It's Zoom, right?
Yep.
Zoom.
Yep. And Maine Water Company will be at the next meeting to provide their first update, and they're going to report to the select board twice a year. So they'll be the first quarterly bills going out in the next week or so. So next week will be a good time, or the next meeting will be a good time just to see how everything's going.
Yeah.
And I talked with the lead operator up there, Joe, and they're finding some exciting opportunities for improvements. They found some clogs in some areas. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Exciting. I don't like the sound of that.
I know the exact sound of that.
So what that means is they've looked at the filters and they found that there were some clogs, some manganese that was clogged up. So then go in there and do some really deep cleaning and get and do some really high level maintenance to those filters, which is the primary water filtration. So they're going in there and clearing out some of that clogging, and I think we're going to start seeing the water plant be optimized. And
Well, that's what we want them to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
He has some incredible areas of opportunity to improve. That you can also read that as there's incredible deficiencies that we're now fixing. Well,
Yeah, I don't like the sound.
yeah, don't. But yes, that's exactly what we wanted Maine Water to do, was to come in and have outside eyes and fix what we've been, or what hasn't been being fixed. So
with our engineer, so Maine Water Company and our engineer, they're working on some short-term improvements. So
any updates on the new construction, the
everything's still on track. The pilot testing, like reported last couple meetings, is the pilot testing performed well. So we're confirmed that the pre-treatment process works for the water source.
and it's been 2 or 4 weeks since we approved the play set, the playground. Is that progressing?
That is. Yep. The rec department, they picked the color scheme and they're shoring up the paperwork and getting it sent off probably tomorrow.
Terrific.
There was a group meeting with Tom Irwin, our engineer from Sebago Technics, the playground group, just getting everybody together around the table and just talk about the logistic for the summer.
Are there any other questions for the town manager? All right, terrific. Thank you, James. We have no select board communications. We have the approval of the accounts payable. All right. We have a payroll warrant number 68 from April 6, 2023, in the amount of $73,016.40. We have a payroll warrant number 69 from April 13th, 2023, in the amount of $74,138.39. And we have an accounts payable warrant number 70 from April 11th, 2023, in the amount of $1,110,262.06. I will make the motion that we pay our bills.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Terrific. All right. Next, we have new business. First is the certified ratio declaration.
I'm Paul McKinney from Municipal Resources.
Recording stopped.
The main revenue services every year, property tax division completes a ratio sales study of all the sales and develops an assessment to sales ratio. This year, they've come up with a ratio of 78%. Those are sales that happened in 2021, so they're a couple of years behind, year and a half behind. They're saying that we need to declare our ratio between 70 and 86%. And that ratio would be applied to all the exemptions, veterans, homesteads, blind, as well as the tree growth rates as well. So we would adjust those value by whatever we decide on. So at 100%, as an example, the homestead is at 25,000. Last year was at 90%, so that was reduced to 22,500. What I'm proposing is 85%, which is on the high side. But since we're considering a reevaluation next year, we're going to bring everything back up to 100%. So I don't see any reason going much, below that. So at the 85%, if that's what you decide, the homestead exemption would drop to 21,250, and the veterans to 5,100 instead of the where we were last year at 5,400 and 22,500. So I guess I need a motion to decide on what ratio you want to use for the upcoming year.
I have no problem with the 85%, but I do have a question about the something you said there. You were going to do another reevaluation of the town, or
we're proposing another reevaluation for the town.
Okay, I mean,
to be completed for April 1st of 2024.
To be completed by?
Yes.
Okay.
We would start it, this fall, basically.
I mean, I was under the impression that it was something that you do about every 10 years or so. Is that a wrong impression?
No, it's every 10 years or whenever the assessment to sales ratio falls below 70%. In actuality, you're right around 70%.
Okay.
You're at 68 right now. So if the market continues to increase the way it has been, it's slowed a little bit, but we're still seeing an increase in price. The amount of time that the houses are on the market is extended. It's a little longer, but we're not seeing any decline in value at this time. In any of the towns that we're doing, that I do. So it's
just hypothetically.
Yeah.
I mean, the housing market has been very strong, too strong for most people.
Yes.
People can't buy a house; it's too strong. If we do a reevaluation this fall, this spring,
yeah.
and then come a calendar year from now, and the market drops, are we going to be hurting our citizens as much? Or
no? Well. I'll bring everyone up to around 100%, as of April 1st of 2024. If in 25 the market happened to decline, everyone would be overassessed, but it wouldn't, as long as everyone is at the same level, it's not going to affect anything as far as the tax rate or anything. So everyone may, if the market declines, say 10%, yes, we may be overvalued. We may be at 110% of value instead of 100%. But everyone's going to be overvalued, so it's not going to affect anything.
Okay.
As long as the reason for the reval is to bring everyone up to the same playing field,
because there are new houses that are being sold at a higher rate than houses are being valued at in the tax records.
Yes. Yeah.
And
unfortunately, some of the sectors, the commercial sector doesn't increase as rapidly as residential right now. That's, it's increasing, but not maybe only at 5% a year or so. The residential is going up 10 to 15% a year, depending on where you are, and the mobile homes are at like 50% of value, because that's the low entry point into the housing market, or the end entry point, or the end point, I guess, whichever way you're going. But so the mobile homes are really out of whack at this point compared to what they're selling for. So we want to bring everyone up to the same. It'll decrease the tax rate. The tax rate will come down and be adjusted accordingly. So overall taxes may not change for a lot of people, but their assessments will change and the tax rate will change.
What do you call a mobile home? Across from the Huzzy School, that subdivision, is that what you consider a mobile home too? That new subdivision?
The new subdivision on Blackwater and on,
Blackberry Hill
Blackberry
Road,
Hill,
across from the
yes.
Huzzy School.
yeah,
You consider that mobile home?
yeah. Well, they're mobile homes
Modulars.
with the garage. They put the garage on,
Right.
the garage is stick-built.
What's the difference between a mobile and a modular?
Mobile usually has a metal frame under it.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's
okay.
built on a metal frame. A modular is a stick-built house,
Stick-built.
basically, but it comes in, in sections.
My house is that way.
Yeah, and it's made to be put on a foundation. The mobile homes are made, set up to be put on pads or, blocks and then anchored down.
You can go through my basement and see where the split is and be like, this is where they put two parts together.
Yeah,
So,
4 parts, whatever, yeah.
any other questions about the new ratio? I'll hear a motion.
I'll make a motion that we set our declared ratio for 2023 at 85% as presented.
A second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
So the next thing is the proposed reevaluation. So what we'll do is, this will be effective for April 1st of 2024. We're not going to go around and inspect everybody's house like we did the last time. We're going to do a statistical update. So we will inspect all the sale properties, because that's what we use to set our base rates in our tables. So we'll look at all the sale properties, adjust all the tables in the camera system, and then bring the values up to within, 98 to 100% of valuation. And if I look in, come March, April or so, and the market looks like it's leveling off or maybe going down a little bit, I can bring that ratio down here too. So I don't have to come in exactly at 100. I could always bring it in at 95 or 90, 96 or whatever. If we see that that's the trend, so that if we do see that decline, we won't be more than 100%. I mean, no one knows. It's just what's going to happen.
It's like
It hasn't.
throwing a dart at this point. But
Yeah, I mean, it's Kittery, Agunquit, which are the two other main towns we do, and I do a lot of the coastal towns in New Hampshire: Rye, Northampton, Hampton, Durham. We're doing Durham right now, and the values there are just constantly increasing. Probably 12 to 15% a year.
Unbelievable.
are there any questions about the proposed revaluation?
Nope.
When you say April 2024,
Yeah.
that's when it'll be completed by, or is that when it starts?
It'll be complete. Well, the value will be set as of April 2024. It'll probably be completed sometime in June and July. We'll we'll send a notice out to everybody as to their new preliminary value. We'll hold hearings like we did the last time, so anybody that has an issue or, thinks there's if we're inaccurate or their house isn't worth that much, they can come in and speak with us. We'll make the necessary adjustments. And then we'll also send out a final notice to the people that came into the hearing or whose value has changed as a result of that.
I don't have a question for people. I have a question for James on it. Is where did we budget the 54K for this?
This amount, it's split over, it's proposed to be split over 3 years.
Yeah. So
So
okay.
it's-
So I should say where did we budget the 18,000 for this?
Yeah,
year?
it's in the assessing budget.
Okay.
So it's already been.
So it's already been in what's on the warrant articles for this year.
Any other questions?
I see in the notes here that, we'd have to, if we go with MRI, we have to vote to waive the competitive bidding requirements
Mm-hmm.
because it's over our value. Is what other groups would be looking out if we did do a competitive bidding process? There's not a lot of people out there doing this type of thing.
Right. I'd have to research it myself.
Everyone's straight right now. It's the same situation that everyone's got. There's no help,
Right.
So, I mean, there certainly are other companies out there that, is capable of doing it.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting to the point where we've worked with MRI for years now.
Yeah.
Paul knows the town better than any of us probably by this time. He's been around to more houses than we have, that's for sure. But I don't have a problem with having MRI do it.
If there are no other questions or comments, I would hear a motion.
I'll make a motion to give MRI the contract for reevaluation for the cost of $54,000 to be spread over a 3-year period at $18,000 per year.
And to waive the competitive
And to waive the
process,
yes.
and to authorize the town manager to sign.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sorry, I gotta wait for the second now. I guess I'll second it to put it up to discussion, sorry.
Yes, so any further discussion?
Have we, in years past, have we put out the competitive bid? I want to know because it's happened before I've sat on the board.
I don't think we did.
To be fair, we haven't
2019,
we
right?
haven't done. This would be a reevaluation. We did one previously in about 2019.
19 and 19
yeah.
we did, yeah.
And prior to that, it wasn't done for about 12 years.
And
So we were.
that was done by another company. That
Yeah.
was done by Vision.
So again, this is not something that happens very often, or it's not supposed to happen very often.
I get that.
So at this point, anybody who would know what we did previously is no longer on the board.
Because I guess that was my question is, do we put it out to competitive bid and table this for one more meeting? Just to be consistent with.
The only reason that I don't feel strongly about putting it out to competitive bid is because, as Tom pointed out, they do the assessing for us. They're familiar with the town as a whole, and if anybody's able to do it quickly, efficiently, and with as little pain as possible, it would be them. And if we get another company in here to do it, we can get some sand in the gears.
No, and I get that, and I have no strong opinion one way or the other.
That's
that's just where I stand. I just wanted to make sure we were consistent. That's why I was just
If we
asking
were
the
to put it out to bid, what would be our timeline as far as putting it out, getting it back, reviewing the bids? Would be what?
It's about a month.
Because I think Paul said that his timeline anyways is until the fall. So that's where I was like, I just want to do the due diligence and cover our end from somebody coming in and being like, well, and who's to say somebody doesn't bid and we come back to this anyways and say this is the best. But I just I have no strong opinion one way or the other. I just want to make sure we're covering our bases.
I don't feel super strongly about it, but my opinion is that they have demonstrated they are the best company for the job with our continued relationship with them and as a town and using their assessing services. That is my only argument for waiving the competitive bid requirement. But if anybody has a different feel about it, I will be more than happy to hear a motion.
We have a motion on the
well,
table.
Yes,
So
I know.
We have to either dispose of that one or.
We could have two competing motions and then vote on each of them individually. See what happens. Yes. So the question has been called to waive the competitive bid. If you are in favor of that, vote so, and if not, then we will go with the competitive bid and move in that direction. So, all those in favor?
I think Mark's going to go yes.
Yes. So, 3 to 1.
Okay.
One abstention. No. No. All those opposed?
One other.
I'll go through the post on this.
Okay.
Just
So can we get a second on the motion?
Yes.
Mine was still the second
He
on the
gave the
motion.
second on the motion.
And you're voting no?
I am.
Yes.
Somebody had the second to get
It's
the
a
discussion.
topsy-turvy world that we live in, but it's okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Well, you'd be surprised in like the legislature and things like that is oftentimes, if it's a close vote, is one of the supporters of a bill will vote against it because then they can bring it back up. So,
That is true.
yeah.
Yeah, because
so-
if it's too dead.
Yeah, you can. There's all kinds of ways you can
Yeah.
manipulate these things.
All right. So
we don't like to go there though.
the so that is the reevaluation, and that we'll see you again in a minute for abatements. All right. So next part of new business is the boiler room waterproofing. James.
During a Maine municipal inspection, the inspector found some standing water in our boiler room, and we were directed to investigate the leak and solve the issue. We put this project up along with some other similar projects out to bid, and we received no responses. Jody contacted TC Havard Basement Systems. They provided us with this quote. Due to this cost, I just wanted to run this by the board. And if there's no issues with the project that proposed, we'll move forward with this project.
Is this already budgeted under town hall maintenance, or are we taking the money from something else?
Yep, this was budgeted as part of a warrant article from last year, so it's already in the capital account.
And it's covered under the budget for 2022, 2023.
Yep,
Not 23, 24.
correct. Yep.
Okay. Are there any questions for James about the waterproofing of the basement?
I just want to say, is looks like they're going to be doing an internal drain with a pump. We just had that done at one of my relatives' house, and we're amazed at how well it worked. So the price that's quoted here is pretty close to what she had done. So about the same, I'd say.
They did our office a couple months ago, and I'm telling you, they do a great job. So TC does. Really good job.
Nothing comes cheap anymore, that's for sure.
No, it's not cheap.
Is before we vote on it is if we have them here, we should have them look at waterproofing the bricks on the town hall too, because they do that. So if we can get them here, we can.
Patty just asked me a question there. So where this already went out to bid, should they waive the bidding requirements for this particular project, just to be sure?
We put it out to bid, there were no bids.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So it already went out to bid.
Yeah.
We don't
to
have
one
to.
company that we reached out to.
So we're
So
just
we should
approving the
waive
contract.
bidding process.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm asking to waive the bidding requirements and
Okay, so I'll make a motion to waive the bidding requirements since there is nobody to respond, and to approve the project at the cost of $17,291.
And I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
Is that correct? Did I do? Is that is that what you needed?
Yeah.
That's good, thank you.
All those in favor? All right. We have no quick claim deeds or installments. Abatements.
All right. So I have abatement on tax map R68-24, 2 Blackmore Road. This is for tax year 22-23. Subject to the single-family dwelling situated on a .6 acre parcel. An in-law apartment and extra kitchen was added to the property in error prior to the 21-22 tax billing. The area has been since corrected, and as a result of this correction, the assessed value was reduced by $19,300 from $205,900 to $186,600. It is recommended that the abatement be granted in the amount of $351.65.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the abatement at the property of 2 Blackmore Road in the amount of $351.65.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? All right. Then
Okay,
there's a second one for the same property.
This is the same property for tax year 21-22. So the error was made prior to this. The assessors can go back 1 year, can correct any errors or grant an abatement. Since this is beyond that point, I'm looking for your guidance as to what you'd like to do in the matter. If you did grant the abatement, it would be $353.19.
Okay, so this was our mistake as the town?
This was our mistake, yes.
Okay. Do we have any notable precedent for going back the extra year?
I don't think we ever have in the past, though. I mean, it's up to the taxpayer normally to, keep track of their property taxes and, that sort of thing. So, I mean, we usually don't go back, but that's not to say you can't.
Okay.
You can go back up to 3 years as a board of select, not as the board of assessors, but as the board of selectors. You gotta take action. Move your hat on.
Yeah, I don't, we've usually only go back to 1 year,
Yeah.
is what we've done in the past. As Paul said, it's up to the property owners to keep track of, their tax values and things. And, we're more than willing to help once we get notified of that. But, typically we do not, go back more than 1 year.
I do recall that there have been a number of times where, we've had situations similar to this where, miscategorized by either the town's fault or the claimant's fault or whatever. And in general, we've always denied anything over a year as a matter of rule, so not to favor any person over another for, does anybody else have anything they want to add or say?
No, I think we've been pretty consistent with sticking to that, even when we've been up here with similar situations, to just kind of stick to that one. And again, that's just to be consistent across the board with everybody.
I'll make a motion that the abatement for tax year 2021 to 2022 be denied.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? All right.
Mark, are you opposed?
I'm abstaining.
Oh,
All right. I think that's all we have for you, Paul.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Paul.
All right. Second public comment.
Now it's my turn.
Yep.
All right, absolutely.
Please again state your name and address for the record.
John Woolley, 2 Blackmore Road in Berwick, unfortunately. He mentioned about this abatement from 2120. I was never notified except for getting a tax bill. You people don't notify when you, by the way, you put an in-law apartment in. They've never been in my house. I've been there for 55 years. They've never even been in my house. But they're charging me for an in-law apartment and an extra kitchen. Just out of the blue. So how many more people in town are being charged something that they have no clue whatsoever they're being charged? Except for, the rate went up, paid a little bit more. Because we got a new fire truck, or we have full-time firefighters, or we're doing the tannery over here, or whatever. No one looks at it you don't get notified. You just get a tax bill and it says your property eval and your land eval. Price per 1,000. But that was it. The only reason I found out is because the insurance company was going to increase my insurance because I had an in-law apartment and a kitchen. So they wanted to up my insurance on fire to cover it. I said I never had it, so she printed it off, showed me the whole thing. That's when I come over here. And
How many years was it?
back to 21.
Oh, so just 1 year?
No, 3 years.
Oh, 3 years.
Three, 21, 22, and 23.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be the responsibility of the owner
Well, you're paying the bill.
to be charged for something you don't even know what you're being charged
Well,
about.
that's right. You should, when you get the bill, you should look at it and try to figure it out. There's still, and I agree with you. When I first started here, it was the same thing. But I've had to go the other way around. It's your bill. Someone says a bill to your house, you're going to know what you're paying for before you sign it, check? Basically, that's what it is. And
Yeah, I mean, the tax bill comes in, you trust the town is doing their due diligence on.
Well, that's your mistake.
On
Don't trust the
obviously, you learn by that. Obviously, from what I heard tonight, I've learned a lot about it. We'll spend money wherever, but no, I mean, I think that's wrong. You charge for something that was never there, and the person didn't even come into the home. How do you charge something that's not even there, that didn't even happen? Because a neighbor did it? So I got billed for theirs, so you got two paying for the town? That's bullshit, Mark. I don't mind paying my tax bill, I don't mind paying my taxes. But I want to pay for what I have, not for what I don't have. And that's only fair. Just like doing this partial going around checking houses or what have you. Either do them all or don't do them at all. Now you're picking and choosing. Anyone can sit behind a computer and see what a place goes for, but how about the ones that they've added to it, or put this in, or put a kitchen in, and a in-law apartment, and didn't notify the town?
For the record, the reevaluation in 2019 was a full reevaluation. They did go to every house and tried to get in wherever they could. They came to my house. They wanted to look around and make sure it matched up, and they did. I've
never denied anyone coming into my house at any given time. When the assessor wanted to come in, I said, come on down. You tell me when you want to be here, I'll be here. I got nothing to hide. Why should I pay for something that I don't have? Why should I pay tax on? Are you gonna pay $100,000 for a fire truck that you don't have?
I understand your point, but it is the responsibility of every property owner to check the tax, make sure that their tax card is accurate, because mistakes do happen, and we're not going to catch them all, no matter how diligent we are. It's just not feasible.
Then maybe when the tax goes up because you're adding things to a person's house, maybe that should be a notation that's on your tax bill. Not just playing the number game on your place is worth $100,000 today, but the mill rate just went to $23 per thousand. People don't go looking at that shit. I mean, if everyone was an accountant in here, we'd be doing good. I mean, these guys come in and do Algonquin, Wells, Rye, all multi-million-dollar places. This is Berwick, Maine. Cut the shit.
Could you, pardon, excuse your language, please? We are on air. We are going out live here, so.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well,
There's
I'm just saying.
Been a lot of things being said in here too
Yeah.
that was offensive, but I didn't say a word. But anyways, I think it's wrong that you're charging people for something that they didn't have, and it's wrong. We have no problem spending money elsewhere on a lot of stuff here, but we're willing to charge a taxpayer that's been paying. I have 4 houses in this town. Today, I wish I didn't. You can glare at me all you want. I do not.
I'm not glaring at you. This is your public comment.
I'm just stating the fact.
Yeah.
And as town fathers, you ought to be looking at that, because you're supposed to be here for the people of the town. And if you see someone that's being, taken advantage of, was it a mistake? That's fine, but it should be corrected on good faith.
We did correct it.
It wasn't. You took care of it for 1 year because the assessor has to. Because they screwed up, because they didn't come in and do a proper examination of my house.
Okay.
I mean, I know it's going in one ear and out the other, but That's all I got.
Thank you.
Is there a way of appealing this, or do I see an attorney to have this taken care of through the town, or how is this gonna work? Because I don't care if it's $5 you owe me. If I've gotta spend $2,000 on an attorney, I will. Because principle's being set here.
And
I'm asking for
No, I
advice from
understand.
the town fathers. Can you help out a citizen of the town?
is the state law is that we don't, as a town board, we don't have to approve of any abatement, even a year back. We have the authority to go back 3 years, but
As a-
we have the authority, but we don't have to do it, and we have never done that before. So,
In terms
and
of
if you feel you need to get an attorney,
And this has happened
that's-
before with a townsperson's been charged for something that they didn't have,
Yeah.
and it was just, okay,
Yep.
go.
It's happened in a variety of different ways
How do you
and
do that?
a variety of different reasons and, different faults on different people. But as
Well, I don't
as
care.
a rule, we don't
The fault on
go.
me was one thing, but this is something that wasn't even, they didn't even enter the house to see that I had an in-law apartment or a kitchen.
They weren't able to enter every home because not everybody
Pick
was
up the
home.
phone and call the person. You have no problem sending me a letter for, I want my money for the tax bill, or you gotta pay interest.
James, what is the appeal process?
I believe the next step would be the county, York County, can appeal to the
the commissioners.
York County Commissioners.
One other thing I want to bring up too, I had, not to put you on the spot, but I might as well say it while I'm here and pissing people off. I put a complaint in 4 years ago in reference to some things on our road, some health issues, and what have you, on a couple properties on our road. And to this date, we still haven't gotten anything done on that. I've been pretty much told. And we've lost the paperwork to a new person coming in, to the old person never did anything to.
What are you trying to do to the road,
All the
John?
way to sitting down with the town manager and still got.
What are you trying to do to the road?
What's that?
What are you trying to do to the road?
What am I trying to do to the road?
Yeah, what needs to be done? It's a private road, right? Didn't we fix it? We fixed the bridge last year.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying the road itself. We got a couple things that are happening on the road that haven't been addressed, like farming out buildings for rentals and having trailers and people living all over the place on the properties and dumping stuff on other people's properties and having the state of New Hampshire come over and remove kids from unhealthy living place and bringing them out of
Yeah, I
there.
don't know about that.
If there's
I've
code
heard that.
issues, then I would call code enforcement tomorrow morning and
We have 4 years now. Am I correct or incorrect, James?
Yeah, the Irish is working on your complaints.
Well, now I'm talking.
Yeah.
This goes back far longer than her being here. But absolutely nothing's been done whatsoever to it at all. So, all right, thank you.
thank you.
Did you bring that up at the association meeting?
Yeah.
I will close the second public comment. We have an executive session that we are going to enter, and we won't be coming back out of that. No decisions will be made in the executive session. Before we enter the executive session, are there any other business non-agenda items from the board? I just have a couple quick things. We did get paperwork back for 4 people running for the select board seats. So there's 4 people for 2 seats. That'll be on the ballot in June. We have 1 person for school board. We have 1 person for school board. If anybody else is interested, you can now run a write-in campaign. And as a public note, if you are at all concerned about your tax bill, please check your tax card. You can do it right online, I believe.
Yep.
And make sure that what is there is accurate. It is on the responsibility of every property owner to make sure that it's correct. And if it's not, make sure that you contact the assessor's office so we can get it fixed as soon as possible. Anything else? I will make a motion that we enter executive session, Title I, 4056A, under discussion of personnel.
A second.
Any further discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor? All right. We are in executive session.
Off the air.
You like how I cover up what you need to read?